Now, the person we're about to talk to is someone with, when people say spheres of influence, I don't think it really gives a proper description to this person in context. Now, she has been a special advisor to the president on special duties in the previous administration, or in this current administration, if I'm not mistaken, right? Previous administration. And of course, she's been a relationship manager with a number of companies in Nigeria. She holds a wide variety of philanthropic work with partners all across Africa and so much more. But she's even more passionate about rights and so much more right here in the capital of Abuja. I could go on stating qualifications, antecedents, and more, but let me just introduce you to the one, the only, Hajia Farida Odanji-Suleiman. Good morning to you, madam, and thank you so much for coming in to join us today.
Good morning, Big FN. Happy birthday.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I think a 6-year-old can say, Nakwana, thank you so much for coming.
Yeah, a 6-year-old is not a small journey. It's not a small journey.
Absolutely.
Yeah, a lot of pampers and cereal will have gone down.
True, I agree. At least the first 1.5 years for sure.
Exactly.
Definitely. It's a pleasure to have you here.
Pleasure is mine.
Especially with someone in your line of work. Special duties is not an angle that many people tend to consider as very busy. But I have actually been in a space with someone of that capacity at the time, and even was at the state level, and I understood how busy he was on a daily, let alone on a federal level for your capacity, and then the amount of philanthropic attachments that you handle. It's amazing that you're here with us, that you even had the time to come through to celebrate with us today. But more importantly, I want to say kudos to you, more grease to your elbow, and fantastic work you've been doing. I understand since 2023, you've also been with the CAM group of companies. Tell me a little bit about your responsibility there as a group general manager and government relations for them.
Thank you very much, and a very good morning to everyone. Hajia Farida Odanji-Suleiman, the External Affairs General Manager of CAM Holding, the largest indigenous steel company in the country, is as large as 70% of what Ajakuta is.
Wow.
Yes, CAM Holding is a group of 13 group of companies, a conglomerate of steel company, aluminium company, and a mining company. Yeah. CAM Holding cuts across the 6 geopolitical zones in this country. We have CAM Holding in Kaduna, we have in Asaba, we have 3 in Kwara State, where we have the corporate headquarters, and also 2 in Ogun State. So CAM Holding basically deals with steel products. Roofing sheets, I can see some within your premises. I think it's CAM products. The stone coated roofing sheet you see in Abuja, that's one of our premium products. The nails, I'm very sure every nail used within this premises is from CAM, because when it comes to nail, we are the leader in the whole of West Africa. Today I tell you, CAM Holding has an arc furnace that you only get in Europe. In the whole of Africa, we only have that arc furnace in CAM Holding here in Nigeria.
So essentially producing everything here.
Yes, we produce everything here, locally produced here, and our raw materials are sourced from Nigeria. And they're basically the scrap from shipwrecks and also scrap from cars and other steel products.
So there's proper recycling already going on in there.
Yes. Beautiful. We're really cleaning the environment. Yes, CAM Holding is a one-stop shop for everything. Steel products, from manufacturing to also environmental friendliness.
That's absolutely fantastic stuff. In one sentence, you told me a great deal of things that many of us did not know about. And many of us have actually started, I think I've worked by a CAM holding company in Asaba before, where I had no understanding that it was that wide or that broad in terms of its capacity or relationship in Africa. And the fact that you produce or recycle most of the work from already damaged products that many would consider wasted.
Yeah, I tell you,
is amazing.
The MD CEO of CAM Holding, Dr. Kamaru Yusuf, is a Nigerian. The company is owned by a Nigerian, no foreign partnership, no foreign investor in it, singly owned by a Nigerian who owns about 3 companies in China today and also 2 companies in India today.
Wow.
Yes. He's just a silent achiever, but I don't think there's any Nigeria in the steel industry that can beat. Even the foreigners that are here competing with him will give it to him that he's indeed the steel man of Nigeria.
That's fantastic stuff. It's interesting that a lot of us young people who tend to focus on a lot of the things that happen in Nigeria may not necessarily come across such information if you have no one-on-one meetings with dignitaries of your nature or other persons within the entire establishment and their hierarchy or capacity.
And I think I need to tell you this. Calm Holding employs over 500 females. If you go to our factory, you see them operating machines directly. They're the ones in charge of our nail plant. From start to finish, strictly women. So this is to show you that it's a company that encourages the female gender. It's a company that supports the female gender. I did an interview with some of our plant operators, that's the females, and they will tell you the history of how they've been there for over 25 years, and they've used that proceeds they get from manufacturing nails to train their children. So it's a company that is very gender sensitive, gender friendly. You know, when you come and see women at different stages in life, from the younger one to the older one, operating machines, producing nails of all types, from 1 inch to the highest inch.
That's absolutely amazing stuff. And I like the fact that someone of your nature, with the long relationship you have with CAM Industries in general, can speak of that and its gender inclusion. Because I understand you joined the company as a relationship manager back in 2010, and the progress so far, it speaks volumes to how valuable they find your capacity there. So you've gone from a relationship manager in 2010 to about 2022, and now you're a group general manager with them. And you can attest to all of these antecedents, this balance in terms of, you know, the gender balance, earnings, and reach in relationship altogether. It's fantastic.
It's a very gender sensitive company. The very few companies in Nigeria will do what Calm Holding does for the females in the company. Sincerely, we have crutches that takes care of the baby, so you won't say you don't have a place to put your baby.
So it doesn't matter whether you're a single lady or married.
A high standard hospital that even people from teaching hospitals come to the hospital to operate, maybe when we have any casualty or when we have any incident, you know, within the factory, which is inevitable in every industry. So it's a one-stop shop for all. We produce nails, we produce even the bag, we bag the nails, we produce the carton, we put the nails, we have a quarry, we're now growing into iron ore exploration, so that we will now stop to bring in the rolls that we bring in to do the roofing sheet, because nobody produces that in Nigeria or even in Africa.
That is remarkable. So aside CAM Industries, which you have a fantastic antecedent already, I understand, and I have heard of a number of, you know, industries, or should I say sectors, where you're involved in, and some of them are philanthropical, some are passion projects of yours, some of them are in partnerships with, you know, companies and bodies that you work with, whether it's in education intervention, where I understand you've sponsored quite over 200 people, based from elementary education down to senior education level. You have, you know, involvement with widows, you have involvement with food dispersal to a number of individuals as well. How do you make time for all of this? Because I'm trying to understand so many of these things you're doing all at once.
You know, these things are things you derive passion from doing it. Okay, so I'll go back history a bit. I'm the daughter of late Adamu Shuaibu, which I named the foundation after. My father was the person that contested for the mayor of FCT during the NRC SDPL. So a lot of people don't understand why my passion for FCT is the way it is. It is something I grew up in. It is something that was the only trade I had about how marginalized we were, about how we needed our proper place in the decision-making body of the land. So I decided to launch the foundation in his name and his honor, to immortalize what he loved and what he wanted. And that's why we decided the Adamu Shuaibu Foundation would talk about the boy child. We've laid so much emphasis on the girl child, training the girl child in various spheres of life, and neglected the male gender. That's my own understanding.
That's remarkable, hearing it from you, especially.
Yes. So a lot of women will not take this position with me, but I bet you with time they will understand why we need to begin to speak up for the boy child. a lot of young boys, when you see them and have conversations with them, they need a shoulder. They need somebody to talk to. They need someone to guide them. They need somebody to shape them. We leave them as young as 13, 14, 12. They are already taking responsibilities of families. They are expected to go and look for monies and come and feed the home. They are expected to cater for themselves. A child of 12 years, 11 years, for God's sake, where is the thought of going to take care of him or himself?
Him developing first.
Yeah, exactly. So I looked at it and I said, no, there is a gap here, and it's going to affect us one way or the other. If you look at it today, we have a lot of girls, highly trained, highly intelligent, very professional in their space of lives. But there's something missing. It's either they're trying to find their footings of who they settle down with as a man. They don't see that standard that befits their qualification, their profession, their intelligence, their IQ,
the vision for their life.
You understand? So you will see a woman gets as old as 40, 50, still trying to look for a man to settle. At the end of the day, she's highly educated. She has all it takes, but she's ending up being very depressed. You get to the level that you see them, they're not happy. And then we have this demography of young people that are ready to work. It's not everybody that will go to school, acquire the formal education.
Of course.
Some are just
Elementary
and vocational, the skills. That's all they need, and they will break barriers. So as much as we want to support the girl child, we feel the girl child was neglected, the girl child was not allowed to go to school, the girl child was not allowed to do certain profession. We now started advocating from the Beijing Women Conference of 93, 94. We started advocating that the girl child has that right and this right. I do not disagree with them, but as much as we are talking for the girl child, we should balance this thing. We now have a society where we have young men wanting to dress like women. Why? Because they feel attention has been given so much to the female gender. We now have a society where the young men will tell you they don't want to read certain courses. You will go for a graduation of medical students. Out of 10, you will see 8 are women. Look, there are some there are some parts of medicine that a woman cannot fit in. Orthopedic surgery. It's highly rigorous. You need someone that has the energy to really do such kind of surgeries. So we are left with a lot of gaps, all in the name of we want to enlighten, train the girl child and all that. And then we're forgetting that, look, the man is actually the backbone of every society. That's my own understanding. Because if God wanted otherwise, let's go spiritual. If God wanted otherwise, we should have had a prophet. That is a woman. And that will have been Mary, because she was the most honored woman in the Quran and even in the Bible, the most sacred. But God didn't do that. There's a reason. And that's why we have to, as much as we want to go westernized, let's try and strike a balance with our tradition, with our culture, and with our religion. You see that we'll have a healthy society. If we put too much energy on westernization, we will lose so much. That's why you see a lot of young guys will tell you they want to press computers to make money. They just want to make money because they believe if they don't make money, they won't get the kind of woman
as well.
That will fit that will accept them. You know, so we are living in a society and looking away from a dangerous thing that will affect each and every one of us. Each and every one of us has children or aspiring to have children, and everyone wants a good husband for her daughter or a good wife for her son. But what are we doing about it? So it's very critical. This is not just for Adamu Shuaibu Foundation. Even the government should begin to look at things like let's try and balance it. We have left the boy child in one corner, fending for himself, trying to look for their footing, and it's not really easy in the society we live today. So there are some places that they will tell you, okay, keep this certain percent for women. I really don't believe in that. What I believe in is, if I have the capacity, the competence, the intelligence to man that office, my gender shouldn't be a yardstick. So give a level playing ground for everybody. Display your competence, your capacity, your intelligence should give you room to sit on any table, not your gender.
But that would be on the basis that the employers in the first place, or the sectors in those first instances, are keeping it unbiased, because you have situations where someone would say a person's antecedents or qualifications should be what gets them through the door, but you may now have individuals in there who are also engaging in some level of I will not call it nepotism now, but genderism, so to speak, where they just sideline, some people. So I understand the argument. Is a long argument. It's been going on for a very long time, long before our time. Women's protest beads in the US,
I know a lot
Beijing,
of
and so much more.
Yeah, come after me. But with time they will
understand your true intentions.
Yes, they will understand that this is also for them.
Yes.
I know a lot of them that come online and tell you, to hell with any man, you can live your life without him. And then they cry all through the night. Let's be honest. Or they're looking for you to speak with, and but you're misleading a lot of followers. The reality is, let's be sincere to ourselves. If I have the competence to be in a space, why should my gender be a limiting factor or a yardstick of me to be there? You see, if we want it to work, what is good for A should be good for B.
Facts.
Let's know our place. Okay, now, a woman is limited to, when you're having babies, your children need your attention. So there are certain jobs probably you can't do at that time. So we need to understand that, look, we're not same with men. We're now having a situation where young women will choose to be baby mamas than be wives. Why? Because there is no man merging up to that their standard. Is the person that is merging to that standard is already probably he already has a wife. So she rather becomes his baby mama or his side chick. Come on, this is not the society we want. It takes two to bring up children, and you bring up children into a healthy society. All we ask for, the insecurity we are all crying about in this country today, I bet you is as a result of the decadence from family norms. We have lost it at family level, and if we don't go back to the drawing board to fix these things, we have children that nobody's accounting for them.
On the streets.
They're on the streets.
Everywhere.
They don't know where their next meal will come from. And nobody's looking for them. Even if they die, they either take them to the mortuary or they just bury them like that. Nobody will ever ask for them. This is not the society we agree with. And this is not the society we should want to hand over to our children. So we all need our hands on deck to fix these things. And that's why at the Adamu Shuaibu Foundation, we decided to look at the boy child and its rightful place in the society. As much as we're doing that, we're also looking at how to empower women and young women. I have a lot of young women that I mentor. We have mentorship classes that we sit and have conversations about life, about their career, about political, if some of them that want to venture into politics, how to get involved, how to place themselves, what to expect and what not to expect.
Clearly, those also are seeking higher education.
Yes. So we try as much as possible to strike a balance with this gender thing, the male gender and the female gender, and we look at the vulnerable group. The vulnerable group are also there, those living, those are poor, those that are living below standard, those that are
which is a large
number. Yes, so we try as much as possible to see that we don't just give you, we don't put people together and begin to give them stipends. No, we look at what can you do. If we can buy you a grinding machine today, will that be able to put food on your table? Now, the Nigeria we're in today, to be honest, is how do people get to eat, even if it's 2 square meters, not even 3 square meters anymore. So we look at how do we get you equipped with skills that can take care of your basic, your food, and your ability to train your children, even if it's in the early age schools, the government school. As far as I'm concerned, in Abuja, the government school are still of high standard and grade that anybody can take his child and go home and sleep.
For Abuja.
For Abuja,
most parts of
yes,
the country,
yes, for Abuja,
problem,
yes, I'm talking for Abuja. So for me, those are the basic things we try to do with the foundation to ensure that the livelihood a lot of people think of, where the next meal will come from, what do I do to make it? Because you see, when you're hungry and you're frustrated, there's nothing you can do. That's why you will hear that a neighbor took a neighbor's child to go and sell. That's why you will hear that a father killed his child, is the level of frustration people feel, even though there is no justification for this actions.
Mental
but
breakdowns
you know,
can also
people
come from
break
different
down
things, yeah.
mentally, and I tell you, a lot of us need to begin to check our mental health. The economy alone is enough to give you a mental breakdown.
Fantastic stuff. So for the purpose of the anniversary, which you're here to celebrate with us, because I feel if we focus on just your projects, the rest of today we would not leave this place. We appreciate you for coming through, and schools just resumed today across board for many people. So I'm guessing your foundation will be open to a number of school-related projects as well, vocational ones as well. So are there platforms, websites, contacts people can get in touch with so they can follow up on what you're doing?
Yes. So we have Adamu Shuaibu Foundation is on Facebook, is on Instagram, is on LinkedIn, is on Twitter, that's X. Yes. And presently we have 50 young boys from secondary schools around the Abuja South. That's the zone where I come from. So we selected these young boys to see how we can treat them. Some of them, when we had encounter with them, they have to go to farm and then sell the proceeds before they could come to school.
Wow.
So we had to take that off them to ensure that they're all in from SS1, SS2, SS3, that's senior secondary school. And then we have about 10 in tertiary institution. Yes, that we're seeing them through from the foundation. You know, the foundation is self-sponsored, so we don't bite more than we can chew, so that we will be able to graduate at least to the tertiary level. Then from the universal basic education, that's the primary school, junior secondary school, we have 200 young boys and girls in that category. Some of them are orphans, some of them are from less privileged homes, some of them even have both parents but really cannot fend for them. They either they dropped out of school, or they will tell you that as a female child would prefer to train the male child and all that. So we have such cases and we put them to school. But basically within the FCT so far, we've not gone outside FCT to do. But if there's anything outside FCT, we send financial support from the foundation.
People can reach out through any of these platforms to get that, whether they're in the FCT
or not. Yes, we can support so long as we can ascertain the genuity of it, where I have a team that works around the clock to ensure that we give maximum support to Nigerians, because we don't expect the government to do anything. And as much as we say we want the government to do this for us, we have to be seen also doing it for our people. For me, in FCT, I always say I'm marginalized. As much as I'm marginalized, I like to show that, look, we can do things for ourselves. Maybe that will attract government to us. Maybe that will attract even some residents that are living within us to see reasons. And I tell you, I've been getting wonderful support from residents. Those that are not even natives. They see it, they are interested, they want to be part of it, they give their support, they send in their financial support to the foundation, and we've been doing as much as we can for the people.
Fantastic stuff. You are an incredible woman, and you are leading a cause that is inspiring people across gender spectrums, across work capacity levels, and indeed a nation as a whole. And I hope that not only do you get both the support that you need on various levels, both governmental and non, but as well as the entire teeming population of Nigerian young people are able to key into what you're doing, and also maybe even take the ball a little further and start something similar in their own sector. So we know that at least Hajia Farida is handling Abuja. We can have a Hajia Ifoma or any former somewhere handling another state, and the rest of all of that.
So I want to use this opportunity to appeal to greater Nigerians. The FCT is not a no man's land. FCT has natives. FCT has original inhabitants that needs their rightful place. We're not asking for anything. We're not saying the other citizens should leave FCT for us. No. We want inclusion. We want to participate in the scheme of things. We want to be having elections where other Nigerians are having elections. We want to be seen like other Nigerians. Please, the advocacy is not just for us natives. What is good for you is also good for me as citizens of this country. I've been marginalized, or I've been seen as a nobody is not good psychologically for me. It's just very few people that can fight this kind of thing. I can imagine a lot of our young people how frustrated they
More
feel.
on the
It was just
side,
recently
yeah.
that even JAM had FCT as
Location
yes,
for consideration.
yes,
Wow.
for consideration. So it's so sad when you hear such situations. We are not saying leave FCT for us. No, all we're saying is what you are enjoying in your state, why can't we enjoy it here? They said the National Assembly is my state assembly. That's meant to be like my state assembly. But I don't think they've made any law and they've passed any bill on my behalf, on our behalf. Look, even the residents are living within our communities. So whatever is coming to these communities, you benefit from it. But we can only achieve it when we put our hands together. When you're speaking for me, I'm speaking for you. And we ensure that the things are done rightly. A lot of things are budgeted for us. A lot of considerations are being done, but we hardly see it. You even see at the quota system, when they are giving employment, you see FCT, but you will go there and not see. It is fair you give me 60% and take 40%. That's fair. I'm not asking for everything. All I'm saying is equal representation, equal participation in the decision-making body of the land. And I'll use this opportunity to thank the President for the first time since the return of democracy that we have a representation in the highest decision-making body of the land, which is FEC, the Federal Executive Council. You know, that's the first time an FCT native is a minister at that cabinet.
That's fantastic stuff. I hope that it spirals into more, what I call it, ingenious moves for inclusion from the local level.
Yes, even within
well.
the state level of FCT, we also want to thank the Minister of FCT, who has also given more opportunities this time around. There's a Mandate Secretary Youth now. It has never been there before. There's Mandate Secretary Women Affairs. It has never been done before. So we really appreciate all these opportunities. If we continue to do this, you know, and gradually we will get to the place. We need a second tier of government, in all honesty, because the local government chairman cannot do everything for us in our locality. We need a second tier of government where we can make laws for ourselves and our people. We understand our culture. We understand our norms. We understand our traditional religion better than any other person. So I think making laws for us, somebody cannot come from somewhere and begin to make laws for us. Let's consider this. It doesn't mean we're taking the land away from people. We have the mayor of Washington, which mayor of the United States has a mayor in Washington. So they didn't say it's a no man's land. You don't do that. There's a mayor of London. So that's all we're asking for. It could be anybody. Today, the senator representing the people of FCT is not a native. Heavens didn't rule. The House of Rep, the House of Rep representing Abuja North, which is Amagbari Federal Constituency, is not from FCT, and he's doing marvelously well. So it is not about just us. Even people living with us will benefit from these gestures. So let's talk together. Let's speak with one voice and make FCT a better place.
Fantastic stuff. You are championing so many causes at the same time. There are so many things you had all at the same time. Once again, Hajia Farida, we really appreciate you for coming through.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for coming to celebrate with us.
A wonderful 6th anniversary, and I hope to see Beat FM 97.9 60 years or 100 years from there. Yes, we'll be celebrating 60 years. So I wish you the very best. I love your humility. I love your coordination. I love the way you present. I love the way you speak. I love your team doing wonderfully well. I wish you guys the very best, and we will support you as much as you need our support. We'll be here for you.